Hi guys, this is Jackie from the BUILDERALL team. In this session, I'm going to show you how to create a product in Super Checkout. To do that, you're going to need a Jira website. So I'm just going to click on Create New Site, giving it a name, and I'm just going to say blank template, and it's going to create a home page for me right here. In this example, we're going to use the home page as the place where your Super Checkout button will sit. And then we're going to create an additional page. I'm just going to call it Thank You. Now, why do we need an additional page? When somebody has purchased something on your home page or where your Super Checkout is sitting, it's going to redirect them to this Thank You page. Now, it depends on what you're selling. Let's say you are selling an ebook on this home page. When they get redirected, this would be the place where you will add the button where they can download the ebook. So it all depends on what you're selling. That is what you will add to the Thank You page. Now we're going to go to the left-hand side and we're going to scroll down until we go to Super Checkout. And it's going to ask us for our business info. Remember that you can have multiple websites, and every time that you use Super Checkout with a different domain, it's going to ask you for the basic information. So this is really, really important. You're going to click Save. Now you're going to have two options. You can either choose to create a product on the left-hand side or just click Create a Product on the button. We're going to add an image. In this case, it's the BUILDERALL octopus. And we're going to give it a name. And you go and choose the language that you want. And this section right here that says Always Ask Address, this depends on whatever you are selling. So if you are selling a physical product, you're going to have to enable it because you need to have the shipping details. So it totally depends on what you are selling. Now you need to add a description. And you're going to scroll, and the type would be digital or physical, and the category. And you're going to click Next. Now at the top, you will note there's a plus sign. And it will take you to all the different pay gates that we currently have in BUILDERALL. And you can choose more than one. So you can maybe have PayPal and Stripe. So it depends on which ones your client is going to use or in which country you are in. And then to be able to fill in these boxes, just follow the instructions on the left-hand side. Every single one will be different depending on which one you choose. And once you've done that, just click OK. So I'm just going to go out. And it's going to list it like this. All you need to do then is enable the ones that you want to use. So make sure that you've got a tick. For currency purposes, now we're just going to use US dollars. We're going to leave it at 14 days refund. Now let's look at the payment type. In this case, we are going with single payment because it's a once-off transaction. Recurring payment would be used for membership sites and e-learning. An auction is totally something different, but that is used for either highest bidder, buyout, or reverse auction. There are separate training for this as well. So we just choose single payment. If there's any additional taxes that you need to charge, this is the place where to add them. The same with a coupon. If you're going to apply any coupons to this specific transaction, you will have to go and create a coupon first on the left-hand side before you fill in this. And then after you've done that, it would be in this drop-down box right there. So now we're going to give it a price. And again, depending on which country you're in, you can enable VAT and EU only as well. And we're going to click Next. We're not going to do any affiliation for this product. And this is the design of your Super Checkout, how it is going to appear. Now, it is important you go through all of them and see which one fits your style better. I'm just going to go with the one in the middle, and I'm going to click Edit so I can show you what the things is that you can change. If you go to Field Style, you see you can change the font, the color text, the background, the styles, shadow. There's so many different things that you can do there, as well as the button main color. So let's just change that so you can see how it works. So let's just add it, make it purple for an example, and then change that one slightly to the same. I'll just copy and paste it. And you can see here at the top how it's changing. Now we need to change the button as well. And you can see how it's changing. The button color is important to make sure that it stands out. Whoops. Put in the wrong one here. Color border. You can add a border to it as well. So you can play around with all of this. You can also change the wording that says super checkout. You can write something else. Depends on what you want to write. Just remember that the characters are limited. And that's basically it. And you're going to hit save. So that is now been set up. Now we're going to scroll down a little bit. It says enable custom footer on my checkout page. So if you want your footer to be different than the other pages, this is the place where you can do that. So if you click, you can see that you can add the details right there. Or you can leave it disabled like this. You can use a custom thank you URL. Maybe your thank you page is on another website. Or maybe it's on another domain. It depends. But if you do, you can go and just add the URL right there. But if you've already created it, like we did just now, you just can go to the drop-down list and choose thank you. Then it says select the page where you want to sell this product. That would be on the home page. So this makes sense now that I've explained it to you a little bit. We're going to go to next. This is also a very important part, something that you need to create before you do your super checkout, especially if you are collecting emails or want to do some lead generation. You're going to have to go and choose the one that you want to use, and you're going to click. And then we've got disable built-in buyer emails. If you don't want those emails to be sent out, you can change it, but I'm just going to leave it as is because that's the easiest. And the same applies to your thank you email settings. If I unclick use default thank you message, I would be able to go and change the message according to the way that I want it or according to my brand. But I'm just going to leave it like that as well. The same applies to abandoned carts. Abandoned cart is basically if somebody has actually clicked right through and they ended up in your cart, they maybe filled in the details but they did not complete the transaction. Then they will be sent an abandoned cart email. You can also change this according to your own ways and the amount of hours, and you can use your own. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it as default. We just go back to default. That's default. And we're going to click next. And there are no restricted areas unless you want to create, but now we don't. We're just going to go next. Now, I'm going to go quickly through this because most of this is very advanced usage. External scripts is like Google Analytics or Facebook chats that you would like to add to your site for more in-depth details. So if you've got a Google Analytics account, you can go grab the code from Google Analytics and you can come and add it right in here. But just be careful that you don't put in the wrong information. It's very important to know that. You have to get the right code. The same with a webhook. Webhook basically is where it will pull the information. Everything that happens inside of your super checkout will be pulled through, maybe to a platform like Zapier. And that is where you would add in. You will go grab the code on Zapier and you would go add it right here in that area. And that's what the webhook is. And then we've got the e-learning. If you click on it, it means register a new student into a new e-learning. And this is where you would be able to choose the courses that you want to release. Now we're going to click next. We're going to say I accept and we create the product. And now you will note the product is sitting right there. You can go click on the links and you will see checkout URL. We're going to copy. We're going to go back to the website. We're going to go to your home page. Now obviously it depends on how you want to do this. You can add this in an iframe. You can add it to a button. In this case, we're just going to create an iframe so you can see how it works. I'm going to click Add Panel, blank. Then I'm going to scroll down, just make this a little bit bigger. Okay, Elements, and we're going to go grab the iframe, drop it in, right click on the iframe, go to General Settings, and we embed the URL. and it's going to come up. Let me just remove this box for us. That's fine. And then you can stretch it the way you want it. You can make it taller, smaller. It's up to you how you want to do this. So I'm just going to go like that for now, and I'm just going to stretch it a bit. Right click, sizes the height a little bit, so we can stretch it. And there you can see is your checkout. And that is how you create a product in Super Checkout.